We bought into a franchise that failed us.
After payroll, I'm left with literally $800 or $900 left in the bank account.
You are going to be paying more taxes than you have ever paid in your life.
Started my business a little bit over a year ago, and I have made 0 sales.
Made $0.
I spent $3,500 on this vending machine, and it is not making me any money.
At least with a 9-to-5, you're getting a paycheck no matter what. I work most of the time for free.
A lot of people say they want to be a business owner. They want to be an entrepreneur. But these are just some of the downsides to running your own business. And comment down below if you run your own or if you aspire to be a business owner.
It's been 9 weeks since we lost it all. The franchise, the storefront, and the dream. 3 years ago, we invested everything that we owned. We picked up and moved across country, and we bought into a franchise that failed us. And we're here to talk about it. For those that don't know, I was a franchisee, which means I didn't own the entire company. I owned one location. Let me start off by saying we are not new to this. We have over 20 years experience as entrepreneurs. We did our research. We followed the rules. We trusted the process. We fought to stay open. We tried everything, but there was no support from the people that we bought into their brand and their business, people who sold us this dream. We were stuck, and closing, that just wasn't a business decision. This was personal, and it hurt.
The first thing that kind of sticks out to me is the fact that she was saying they invested everything they had into this business, which honestly sounds like a lot of entrepreneurs. They do the same thing. And I think a lot of business owners can be very hard on themselves if their business fails. But she was in the game for 20 years, which is definitely something to be very proud of. But did you know more than 1 in 5 US businesses fail within their first year? And this is according to the latest US Bureau of Labor Statistics data. More precisely, according to this Tree article, 21.5% of private sector businesses in the US fell within the first year. And that's already a really high number, but it gets even worse, y'all. After 5 years, 48.4% have faltered. And if you're lucky enough to even make it to 10 years, 65% have closed. But from what she was saying, she runs a franchise with somebody that she partnered with. And unfortunately, it sounds like they had a falling out. This is something very common in business. And unfortunately for her, that means that she had to close down her business. Now I want to see what the comments say. All right, the first comment here says, most franchises are a pyramid scheme. Even Chick-fil-A? Another comment here says, owning a franchise was the worst decision of my life. A scam, really? What is going on? And I need to know names. And this comment here says, rule number 1, never invest everything you own into anything. And I actually think that's a good piece of advice.
Sunny here, owner of Kaisen Sushi. It's 11:46 in the evening on Tuesday on my off day. I just finished payroll. That costed $8,321 for last week. I pay my guys every week before Friday, no matter what. I just paid a bunch of bills, and this photo you're seeing on this screen is what my bank accounts look like right now. I made payroll. I paid about $3,500 in bills so far, and there's another $1,700 that's still gonna get drawn tomorrow. So my actual business account's probably gonna be around $1,700. I still have probably $400 worth of wasabi to pay for before the end of the week, and still have to buy produce for the week. I have to buy some more sushi trays, and I have to make an emergency order for custom bags from China before the end of the week. Now, a little bit more money is gonna trickle in, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 more dollars before Thursday, and this is what it's like to have a successful new ghost kitchen restaurant with the concept that we're running.
Wow. He's running a ghost kitchen. And for those of y'all who don't know what a ghost kitchen is, according to USA Today, a ghost kitchen, also known as a dark kitchen or a cloud kitchen, is a digital-only restaurant that is available only on food delivery apps like Postmates, Uber Eats, or Grubhub. And these kitchens only offer food items and drinks from online brands, cutting out the storefront and human interaction of traditional eateries. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be my own boss. I don't like working a 9-to-5. I don't like anyone telling me what to do. Well, after he's paid his employees, from what we're looking at right now, he has $3,451. Not bad. Might be a few more things coming out though. Now I want you to ask yourself, is this what you expected for him to be saying he's making after paying his employees and paying all of his business expenses? Because I think a lot of people don't consider those things when they go into business. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna be my own boss. But this is the reality. And I actually appreciate him being so transparent and honest.
There's probably going to be some trolls who say you're just not charging enough or blah, blah, blah. Or some people will rightly say you're not charging enough. Right now, my motivations and my priorities are just to get new customers in the door. And the hope is that at least 30 to 40% of them become lifelong customers in the long run. So yeah, this is what it's like, and the numbers are always scary every week. It's only been 11 days so far for this month, and we're actually doing pretty good, because normally by the end of today or after payroll, I'm left with literally hundreds, maybe only like $800 or $900 left in the bank account. Now, and to be honest with you, I have no problem fully disclosing my numbers, because there are so many restaurants in Houston that are completely full of and I hate watching them just put up this ridiculous front, take up air and space that could be filled by better restaurants and better food and better people. Honestly, this industry is full of really bad people. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, the only reason I am scared to show screenshots of my bank account is because it's really hard to date when you show people exactly what your bank account looks like.
I was not expecting that. That was the last thing I thought he was about to say. Good luck to you, sir. You know, because everybody needs love. Let me stay on topic. But apparently, he said the competition is already swift out here, and people want a man that make a lot of money. He ain't got it like that right now, y'all. Pipe down. I hope he finds somebody that's able to stay down till he comes up. And that's the problem with people right now. They want to come when everything is all ready. You got your life all put together, and they want to come in and reap all the benefits. It's like, where was you at when I was shooting in the gym? And in his case, where was you at when he was water whipping?
And the size of my bank account matters to the people I've been trying to go on dates with. Anyways,
wow.
The bills got paid this week. We're going to have a great week. Thanks to all of your support. And I'm going to try to get some sleep now and do it all over again tomorrow.
And the thing about his story that's very interesting is this is a very good week for him, or a good pay period, I would say. And one of the realities and the dark side of owning a business is sometimes you are unprofitable. It takes some people years to be profitable, year after year, or month after month even. But the way that entrepreneurship and owning a business is so glamorized online, a lot of people don't think that, or maybe they don't know that. They think as soon as you open this business, the money is about to start rolling in. And while that does happen for a lot of people, I gave you guys the stats on how much small businesses or businesses fail. And you got to ask yourself, what do you think is the reason they're failing? When most people aren't seeing money coming in and they have real life bills, that's probably the reason why. And I hope it continues to climb every month. Now I need to see some of these comments. This comment here says, everybody screams, be an entrepreneur. Nobody talks about this side. And that's why we're talking about it, because this is real life. Somebody here said, being able to pay employees is the real flex. Keep going. Do you guys know how hard it is to pay people? That's a whole nother pressure. And I'm speaking from experience. That is a whole nother pressure. When you know somebody else's livelihood literally depends on you doing your job or you running that business. And it's an amazing thing. But one thing I want to point out is this man right here and all business owners get paid last, y'all. They get paid after they pay the employees. And sometimes that means that you ain't getting paid. You might walk away with $1,000. Results may vary, depends on the business. But it is a flex that he's able to pay his employees. And I know what a lot of y'all thinking. He could do that work for the $8,000 himself. In the restaurant business, you got cooks, you got waiters, you got the people in the front that greet people, and he is one man, and that's what a lot of business owners are dealing with. You simply need help in some businesses in order to grow, in order to give good customer service. And I say hats off to him. If somebody here says owning a business is rough, man, I completely understand, and it can be. Definitely has its pros and its cons. And I think this is something that people really need to consider before they go into business, because it's not for everybody. And I don't say that to be mean, I'm saying that to be realistic. One of the things I think a lot of people do is they go into business for things that they're passionate about, or perhaps they're even good at, which is great if you like what you're going into business for, don't get me wrong. But just because you're good at something, in my opinion, doesn't mean that you should have a business. There's so much that goes into a business. There's a lot of paperwork. You got to make sure sure you're running legally. You got to think about bookkeeping, record keeping, receipt keeping, making sure that you're operating within a budget. Not only do you have to budget your own personal life and your own finances, you have to budget the finances of your business, because how else would you know if you are turning a profit or not? There's so much stuff going on the admin side of running a business that when some people create a business, that's the reason why they left. It's not because they're not good at what they do. It's because of the paperwork. For example, you may want to run a food truck. You might be the best in your area, right? But if you suck with people, if you're not open to learning new systems and things that you don't know because you've never been a business owner before and you have a lot to learn, and you just think it's as easy as just selling plates out the truck, you ain't gonna be in business very long. You have to have licenses to sell food. You gotta pass health inspections, stuff like that. There will be health inspectors coming to see the facility you're selling the food out of and give you a grade, which means you have a standard to upkeep. And if you don't know the standard, too bad. It's time to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, how is your business going to flourish? Or maybe you can just pay somebody for all that. But it takes money for somebody to come in with the expertise on all these things. Do you have money? Are you willing to be partnered up with somebody who has the expertise? Have you even considered what that might look like? What would be the split? How much are they taking on? There's a lot of questions to ask when it comes to business. And I wanted to read one more comment, because I wanted people to really understand how rough it can be for entrepreneurs, because social media got a lot of y'all thinking, oh, be my own boss. Stuff is sweet. And it may be for a lot of people. I'm not saying it doesn't have its upsides, but I want to read this. It says, dude, you survived payroll. That's huge. It took me 3 years, y'all, to make a profit in my first business. Suffering is part of the journey. It adds that additional layer of callous. I love how you're thinking of customer lifetime value. That's where the success lies. And I want y'all to comment down below. How long as a business owner would you give your business to become profitable and start making you money before you said, I can't do it no more?
Everybody on opening up their own business just for a couple minutes. I've heard so many people, like within these last few years, like since COVID, want to open up a business, right? They want to get out of the matrix.
Right.
They want to stop working a 9 to 5. They don't want to work for companies, blah, 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 or work for other people, which I get it. Like, I totally get it, man. But like coming from someone who's owned a business for 6 years, like, let me just de-influence you and like tell you the reality of things. You are going to be paying more taxes than you have ever paid in your life when you own a small business.
She's not lying. I never knew. I understand now. Taxes is a crazy time of year. I used to look forward to taxes. Not no more.
You have things in rules, legal actions that you have to apply to your business to be a legitimately small business, or in any business. Getting out of the government and the scheme of all things, you're actually more embedded into it than you ever will before.
And I agree with that, because there's so much you don't know, but you have to figure it out when you own a business. And a lot of people really do feel like, I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna be able to do whatever I want. And it's like, no. You have to do certain things a certain way when you're operating within a business. You essentially just gave yourself a job, a new task, if you will, that you must learn. And you're gonna mess up. You're gonna forget things. There's gonna be things you're gonna be like, how was I supposed to know that? You're not gonna know. But guess what? It's like you're expected to know or just figure it out, because you wanted to be a business owner. Remember, you wanted to be your own boss and figure everything out. You didn't want nobody telling you what to do. And there's not gonna be nobody telling you what to do. You can fall flat on your face. Your business can fail and nobody is going to care. I'm just being honest. You got to learn about taxes, Schedule C's. You're going to be in there trying to figure out tax codes and tax laws. You're going to be trying to find a good CPA so you can get deductions and all sorts of stuff that you never had to worry about before, because you were working at a company that did all that stuff. You just never even had to think about it. You essentially just became a similar entity to that company that was doing all those things that you didn't even have to consider. You didn't have to worry about healthcare for your employees, 401ks, payroll. You didn't have to think about it. You just showed up to work. You said, hey, I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Give me my check. You didn't have to worry about how that was getting paid out, what system to use to pay people that out. You didn't have to worry about it. Didn't have to worry about business insurance. There is so much that goes into it. I could go on and on and on.
And like most of the money that you're getting in for the business, you're putting back into it.
Yeah.
It's just a cycle.
The more you make, like you have more money. But you also must pay Uncle Sam because the IRS don't play about their taxes. And which is why I said you're going to have to learn how to play this game. And I know a lot of people have a disdain for bigger corporations, which trust me, I can understand. But I also want to tell you guys this. Smaller businesses are also trying to figure out how to play the game too, because you have to. When you become a business owner, if you don't try to figure out how to play this game of running a business, being profitable, not paying all the money back to the IRS because you don't know how to do bookkeeping and stuff like that. If you don't, the only one that's going to hurt is you and your business. So you're forced to either get with it or literally get lost. And I'm only saying this because I can think of somebody who opened a coffee shop, right? And they're like, I'm free from the matrix. No, it's like you just changed the position on a chessboard, if you get what I mean. You might have been like the pawn before, and now you're the duke. Now you're the bishop. You see what I'm saying?
And then minimum wage goes up every year. There's another one. And then you also have to pay for insurance for your business and your building, and work comp insurance for your people, for your employees, if you have, which you should have employees, because doing it all by yourself, you will be extremely exhausted and burned out. Like your girl here. So, but having employees is almost not realistic. There's that one. Because you pay your employees, which they could be 16 to 25, more than you pay yourself.
I mean, you guys just seen the last guy combined for what he was paying out for his employees. I mean, we seen the numbers, and that was a good month.
So I don't know, guys. You tell me what's best.
Okay, this comment right here really stands out to me. It says, there's a certain luxury in being able to clock out of a job and go home and not think about it. And I love this comment here so much because when you own a business, there is no clocking out. You are on the clock 24/7. And if you don't want to be the boss, nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. And there's also nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur and running a business. I just think that people need to be informed about what that means, what that really can look like. Not this glamorized version of whatever social media and TikTok and Instagram is showing people. And the creator underneath even says, I'll never take that for granted again. And it's probably one of those things like you didn't really know what you had till it was gone. And I can totally understand. I can totally understand.
I'm an Amazon FBA seller and I got completely wrecked because of Halloween returns. And let me preface this by saying I don't sell Halloween costumes or anything related to Halloween. And the reason why I noticed is because on average, I have around a 6% return rate. And in the beginning of November, we're 6 days in right now, it quickly shot up to like 20% return rate. And I started freaking out. And here's proof. Like you can see, I've sold right around 400 or 283 of these actual units, and I got 66 returns. That's like a 25% return rate because I'm terrible at math. It might be a little bit more. And then I noticed that frequently bought together on Amazon was my product and now some bunny ears and now some long sleeve cotton sweatshirt for girls. So I was some thotty's Halloween costume. And now that Halloween is over, I get all of these returns. 25% return rate.
Well, I'm gasped. Not the name calling, but anyway. But this is a valid complaint for a lot of business owners, the returns. And this is specifically for the people that sell a product. But I'm sure it has to be worse for people who have an Amazon business or some sort of storefront, maybe even Etsy, where you ship out something, somebody gets it, they're like, oh, I don't like this. Or like he said, something was seasonal and they're looking at that return policy and his product served a good purpose, I'm sure. But a lot of customers do this because they really didn't want to pay that money. They didn't want to keep your product, even though it may be good for something. The first comment says, 43K net profit, you'll be okay. Is that what it was? That wasn't what I saw. And somebody here is saying, honestly, I return most of my Amazon things now. Most of the vendors are selling bad quality items now. It's rare when I order something and it's a good product. Now, returning a product because it's just not the quality you expected is a whole nother story. But returning it because you used it up for your own use cases, it served its purpose, and then you just gonna send it back to the seller, it's kind of messed up. But this is something that business owners have to deal with. This is actually a pretty good reply because it says, I ordered a Halloween costume on Monday and it said it would be here on Thursday, but it didn't arrive until Sunday. So yeah, it got sent back. So it didn't get there when you needed it to be there, and then Halloween was already over. You know what? That makes sense too. But if they just got the item on time, used it for that one night and sent it back, that's kind of messed up. For him, because he's trying to make money, y'all. And is he making some good money on here? I'm trying to see. Estimated payout, $29,000. Oh, somebody put me on game. After seeing that.
I started my business a little bit over a year ago, and I have made 0 sales. And that freaking bites to say out loud. This isn't for a lack of trying. I have done everything in my power to try to market. I've put it on different platforms. I've tried it on here, on my other account. But no matter what I do, every video that I push out gets max like 100 views. If it's anything to do with my small business, it like face plants. It's been extremely defeating to the point where I've questioned whether I'm supposed to be doing this or not. But I know deep in my heart that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that what I made and what I'm making is out there for somebody. I just need to find that somebody. I don't know where you are, but I made this product for myself because I needed it, and I know there's others out there like me who also could benefit from it.
Right.
So I'm not giving up. I'm starting over.
Now, I just want to know, after a year, even if you were as passionate as she is, would you have given up? She made no sales. She didn't say 2 or 3, 10. She said no sales. What would you do? Because even if you did if you made your LLC and did all of that, at this point, you just lost a lot of money. You see what I mean? Because you haven't made anything. And I do hope she does, but I really think it's important to show this because she's not the only person this happened to. And I actually think she's pretty brave to keep on trying. She must really believe in herself and whatever product she has. And I hope she does have success. And I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, they have to try many different things or try different avenues over and over, try something else, and they keep failing and they keep coming back. I think she has the right attitude, to be totally honest. I've seen so many entrepreneurs say, I failed at this and then I did this. I failed at this and then I did that. And they just keep failing and trying to find a solution to their problem, and they just keep on keeping on. And then eventually something good happens, and that something good happens and they just run off with it. And this may or may not be her thing, or even for those of y'all who are watching this, you may have a thing that you're trying to do and you might just be like, I keep failing, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna keep failing, I'm gonna try again. Sometimes you don't know what's on the other side of that hill. You might be on the brink of something. So I never want to discourage anybody who truly believes in themselves to stop. I definitely think she has the right attitude.
Well, we've officially hit rock bottom, if not close to it. So in the last 2 weeks, I've had maybe 3 jobs or less. I've made $0, and yeah, things are just not going right. So long story short, there's a couple variables. First one is it's getting into the winter season. Yeah. Grass isn't growing. People just don't want anything having to deal with lawn care. Second, I'm currently I went through some defamation stuff. The ex wanted to get my business tied into it. So a lot of people dropped me or just don't want to do business with me. Right. Second, I came across a pressure washing company from a friend. He referred me. 3 days in, day 3, we lost the contract. So
man, and this is about as real as it get. He got a lawsuit and his business pretty much about to get, or might have been, wrapped up in that lawsuit, allegedly. I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny. You also got to worry about being sued. People coming after your business assets and stuff like that when you have a business. Like, for example, if you own a gym, if somebody got injured at your gym, you don't think they're going to try to come after you? All these things you have to think about. They could slip and fall at your bakery. Now they want $1 million. Do y'all think about stuff like this? Like, that is serious. I don't even care if it's a clothing store. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm saying this so you can be aware of things you should consider, things to look out for, you know? And with his business, it's seasonal. So what this tells you is it's very up and down. People aren't getting lawn care services done in the winter. Like, for what? People letting their weeds and stuff grow, grass growing crazy, probably dead. They ain't watering it. Trust me, I understand. I might be one of them people. That ain't the point. In certain businesses, it's very seasonal. Not only that, in some businesses, it depends on the economy. His depends on the weather, but just think about if you're in luxury services. Let's just say you're in hair care or something like that, cosmetology, the art of beautifying the girls. I don't know. Nail services. You think when people start going broke, for real, like when they're really going broke, that all of the luxury services are going to be filled? No, it depends on the economy. Just like his job depends on, hey, do I need this? Is there a demand? Because they ain't trying to be out there cutting no grass in the hot summer sun. Is it necessary? Does it need to get done? And if the answer is no, sales might be low.
I asked the internet for help with my failing vending machine that I just bought about a month ago, and the internet did not hold back in telling me exactly what I'm doing wrong. I spent $3,500 on this vending machine about a month ago, and it is not making me any money. It's probably costing me more in electricity to run this thing than I'm actually making off of it. You guys let me know that I was putting all the wrong products in, and I needed to cater to kids and make my prices a little cheaper. The problem I'm running into now is I have all of this inventory that I overbought before I knew what I was doing. Well, I still don't know what I'm doing, but now I have all this inventory. And so I think I just have to let the vending machine kind of suck until I get rid of it, because I don't know what else to do with all of this stuff. I thought Alani's and Poppies and Ollipops were going to be a hit because that's what I like drinking, but I think that was my biggest mistake. I bought things that I wanted and not what the customer wants. So I'll just be drinking all of my Poppies and Alani's in quiet shame, hoping I make better purchases next time.
Wow. And this is exactly what has to happen. Exactly what she's doing. She asked people outside of her own thoughts because she thought it was a great idea. Sometimes you actually think, I like this soda. Why don't everybody else like it? It's great. Girl, they ain't feeling that. I don't know what to tell you. They didn't like it. So now you got to go back to the drawing board. And this is part of the process. The failing. And now she has to go back. This is what being a business owner really looks like. And this is on a smaller scale. And I'm not trying to discount her vending machine business. But imagine if she owned a whole restaurant or something crazy. Or if she had a warehouse full of stuff that she was trying to sell. It would be bad. She'd be like, I got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff and it ain't moving. And I actually think that having this vending machine as her small business is great, because on a smaller scale, she's seeing, hey, what is it that people want? Let me find something to where I can give them something they feel like they need, and I'm adding value to them, and then I make money. That's how business works. You have to add value to other people. If they don't see you as valuable, they don't want to shop with you, and they're not going to go to your vending machine. And it's nothing personal. It's actually just business. But once she get it right, that vending machine might be popping. She might have all sorts of money in there. I've seen vending machines full with so much different stuff, and it was very specific to the people in the area. For example, if you're on a college campus, some of them are filling it up with more than just candy. They had stuff in there that college students needed, and they were going to the vending machines and getting those things out. You actually have to think about who is your customer, who are you trying to target, and have you done the market research that supports that they will buy if they see it? You know, the probability. You know, you really got to think about this sort of stuff. Nobody really cares what you like. I'm just being honest. They don't care that you like whatever brand of soda you like. If everybody in that building likes Jolly Ranchers and you hate it, that's what you put in the vending machine. It's not personal. And when she said she was just gonna have her vending machine suck, I'm like, girl, just let it go. Take all that out, give the people what they want. Matter of fact, do a survey of whoever these people is that's in this area, do a survey and ask them, what would you like to see? Because the internet is very large of a place, you know? If you can ask your customer directly, why not? And this kind of looks like she's in some sort of laundromat, because it looks like a washer off to the side. Girl, sit in the laundromat and say, hey, what would you like to, like, if there's a group of people in there, ask them, hey, what would you like if you were to get something from a vending machine, hypothetically? And if you keep seeing the same thing popping up, girl, stock it up. You can be rolling in dough. Okay, and you know what? This confirmed what I was saying. Okay, but he said it way better. He had a better idea. This comment says, as a dude who owns 8 vending machines, the best advice I got was to put a sign on the vending machine asking customers what they want. That's smart. That's smart. Leave a clipboard if you want to go old school, or make a QR code, smart man, that goes to a Google Doc. They can type in what they want. It's literally a game changer. See, this is what I mean. You gotta know what they want. If they can scan it on the phone, it's a wrap. Everybody got a phone. They might not even write it, but if they keep coming there and they can make a request, and somebody here says, business 101, never make decisions based on what you want when you're selling to others. And exactly, they don't care. They literally could care less what you like. And that is called what? Market research. My good sis gonna get it right. I believe in her. I think she's gonna do well.
Every single person that I know that's ran a successful business has thought to themselves at one point, A 9 to 5 wouldn't be that bad. They all have, and if you haven't, you have a hobby, you don't have a business. Because running a business is miserable. It's terrible. It's so lonely, it's so stressful. I love it, but it's miserable. People glamorize business owners as if it's this super awesome, nice lease. It sucks. It's miserable most of the time. The times where it's good though, it's awesome, but it's most of the time. At least with a 9 to 5, you're getting a paycheck no matter what. I work most of the time for free.
And you want to know what's so funny about what he said? Somebody here said, misery loves a company. That's genius. I love it. Having a business definitely has its ups and its downs. It's definitely not for everybody. But as hard as it is for a lot of people who do run businesses, I think a lot of them still wouldn't want a 9 to 5. I don't know. But I also think a lot of them don't mind it because they truly understand all the work and effort that goes into being the one who is in charge of everything. And if that's you, comment down below. And I need to know, how do you feel about being an entrepreneur? Do you think that is something that you could do? And how do you feel about being a business owner? Does being a business owner have too many downsides for you? Or do you think it's right up your alley and you can do it? But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.